Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a chemistry session. Here we are discussing about the chapter chemical bonding. Okay, in this session we are going to see about ionic bond formation. What is an ionic bond? How it is formed? We are going to see in this session. This ionic bond is also called electrovalent bond. Ionic bond or electrovalent bond. Courcelle proposed the ionic bond based upon the following facts. So the factors based on which the ionic bond was explained by Courcelle, let us see here. One of the points is ionic bond is formed between atoms of two dissimilar elements due to transfer of electrons from the atom of one element to atom of another element. So this ionic bond is formed because of the transfer of electrons between the atoms. Okay, and the second point is there are highly reactive metals like alkali metals and highly reactive non-metals like 7th A group elements on the left hand side and right hand side of the periodic table, isn't it? Yes, there are extremely reactive metals in the first A group at the left hand side of the periodic table, which we call as alkali metals. What are those? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. These are highly reactive metals which are existing at the extreme left side of the periodic table. At the same time, if you observe at the extreme right side, last but one column, that we say as 7th A group elements. They are we call as halogens: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. These elements are highly reactive non-metals which are present at the right side of the periodic table. So out of these, on the extreme right side, the 18th column in the periodic table contains noble gases. So these noble gases, except helium, they have 8 electrons in the valence shell of their atoms. So they are chemically inactive and exist with more stability. So as these all elements, they are having 8 electrons in their outermost shell. These elements are being more stable and least reactive, inactive. These are chemically inactive, we can say. And we told here, except helium, remaining elements of this 8th A group are noble gases. They have 8 electrons in their outermost shell, which we call as octet. But only helium, it is having only 2 electrons in its only one shell, that is first shell. So it has only one shell and that too it is completely filled. So it is also stable just like the remaining noble gases, even though it is not having 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So this kind of configuration existing with only one shell, that too completely filled with 2 electrons, is called duplet configuration. Helium has duplet configuration, whereas remaining noble gases, they have octet configuration. So because of these two, these elements are being more stable or least reactive. Now the remaining elements which are not noble gases, to attain 8 electrons in the outermost shell, similar to noble gases, these metal atoms generally that have 1 or 2 or 3 electrons in their outermost shell, generally they lose electrons and form stable positive ions. These stable positive ions formed by metals are called as cations. We know generally metals will be having 1 or 2 or 3 electrons in their outermost shells. So these metals, they will ready to lose these electrons present in the valence shell, and thus they form stable positive ions. These positive ions are called cations. Metals form cations by losing electrons. Okay, in the same way, okay, let us see one example also for this. If we say sodium, we know its atomic number is 11 and its configuration is 2, 8, 1. How many electrons are there in the valence shell? It has only 1 electron. So this sodium atom will be very ready to lose this 1 electron and hence it becomes stable. So by losing this electron, sodium attains noble gas configuration. It attains 8 electrons in its outermost shell, and thus it becomes more stable. So by the loss of one electron, sodium is converted into Na plus ion, which is called as sodium cation. Na plus ion. Okay, metals in this way, by losing their valence electrons, they form stable positive ions called cations. Sodium, by losing one electron, it forms sodium Na plus cation. Let us see one more example. If we see magnesium, atomic number of magnesium is 12, so its configuration is being as 2, 8, 2. There are 2 electrons in its outermost shell. So this also will be losing these 2 electrons and attains the nearest noble gas configuration, that is 2, 8. We know this 2, 8 is a stable electronic configuration of neon. So by this sodium, this magnesium also by losing electrons becoming stable, but by the loss of electrons it is forming dipositive metallic ion, which we call as cation. Mg plus 2 cation is formed, and thus magnesium becomes stable. Okay, and one more example. If you see aluminium, it has 3 electrons in its valence shell, because its atomic number is 13 and configuration is 2, 8, 3. So as it has 3 electrons, this aluminium also can lose these 3 electrons, and hence it forms Al plus 3 cation. So in this way, metals which are having 1 or 2 or 3 valence electrons, they lose these electrons, and hence they become stable positive ions, which are called as cations. In the other way, to attain 8 electrons in the outermost shell, non-metal atoms which are having 5, 6 or 7 valence electrons, they gain 3, 2 or 1 electrons respectively and form negative ions, which are known as anions. Okay, non-metal atoms, they will be having generally in their valence shell 5 or 6 or 7 valence electrons. So to complete their octet, they will accept the remaining electrons from the other atoms. So by accepting electrons, these atoms they form negative ions. These negative ions are called anions. Okay, so generally non-metals, by gaining of electrons, they form negative ions, which we call as anions. For example, if you see phosphorus, we know the atomic number of phosphorus is 15 and its configuration is 2, 8, 5. How many electrons are there in its valence shell? There are 5 electrons. Now, is it a stable element? No, it needs 3 more electrons to become stable. So phosphorus will be ready to gain 3 electrons, and by gaining 3 electrons, it attains nearest noble gas configuration, that is argon configuration, 2, 8, 8. By gaining of 3 extra electrons, phosphorus becomes 3 units negatively charged ion, which we call as anion. This phosphide ion is anion. In this way, non-metals, they gain electrons and form negative stable ions, which are called as anions. If you see one more example, sulfur, we know the atomic number of sulfur is 16 and its configuration 2, 8, 6. And here for sulfur, in the outermost shell there are 6 electrons. If it gains 2 more electrons, it attains nearest noble gas argon's configuration. So sulfur gains 2 electrons and forms di-negative ion. Di-negative stable ion is formed by sulfur, which we call as anion. Okay. In the similar way, if you see for chlorine, we know the atomic number of chlorine is 17 and its configuration 2, 8, 7. So in the outermost shell it has 7 electrons. To become stable, it needs 1 more. So chlorine gains that electron and becomes union negative stable chlorine ion. These all are called anions. So non-metals accept electrons and thus they attain nearest noble gas octet configuration, and hence they form stable negatively charged ions called anions. Okay. Next, the number of electrons lost from a metal atom is the valence of its element, which is equal to its group number. So generally for the metals, the number of electrons lost by the metal atoms will be equal to the valency of that element, and it is also equal to its group number also. Okay, for example, if you see sodium, how many electrons a sodium metal atom can lose? 1 electron. So we can say the valency of sodium is said to be 1 now, and also this 1 represents its group number also, isn't it? Sodium group number is 1. So here the number of electrons lost by metal atoms will be equal to its valency and also which is representing its group number. In the similar way, if you see for magnesium, magnesium loses 2 electrons and hence its valency is 2, and also this magnesium belongs to second group in the periodic table. Okay, that's about metals. If you see for non-metals, the number of electrons gained by a non-metal element for its atom is taken as its valency, which is equal to 8 minus its group number. Means the number of electrons gained by non-metal atom is equal to its valency, and which is also equal to 8 minus its group number. For example, if you see the valency of chlorine, what is the valency of chlorine? It gains 1 electron, so it is equal to 1. Valency of chlorine is 1, and from the number of electrons gained by non-metal atom we can find the group number also, that we can get by 8 minus number of electrons gained. Here if you see for chlorine, 8 minus number of electrons gained by chlorine is 1, so 8 minus 1, it gives its group number. We know chlorine belongs to 7th group. Okay, in this way from the number of electrons gained by non-metal atom we can find its valency as well as its group number also. Directly the number of electrons gained by the non-metallic atoms is equal to its valency, and the group number is equal to 8 minus valency, gives its group number. Okay, now let us see how a ionic bond is formed. Let us see the formation of ionic bond. The positive ions, which we call as cations, and the negative ions, which are called as anions. So the positive ions and the negative ions that are formed due to the transfer of electrons from metal atom to non-metal atoms experience the electrostatic force and get attracted to form a chemical bond. As this bond is between charged particles which are known as ions, this chemical bond is also called ionic bond, isn't it? So what is ionic bond here? The electrostatic force of attraction created between the positive ions and negative ions is called ionic bond. Sometimes based on the forces being electrostatic, this ionic bond is also called as electrostatic bond. Okay, the attractions between these positive and negative ions are being electrostatic forces. This ionic bond is also called electrostatic bond. And even as the valence concept has been explained in terms of electrons, this ionic bond is also called often electrovalent bond. So these all are the different names for ionic bonds based upon its properties. So as it is the bond created between the oppositely charged ions, it is called ionic bond. As there are electrostatic forces created between them, this bond is called electrostatic bond. And as it is being explained in the valence concept has been explained in terms of electrons, this bond is also called electrovalent bond. Okay. Thus we can define ionic bond as the electrostatic force of attraction that keeps cation and anion together to form a electrically neutral compound is called ionic bond. The electrostatic force of attraction between the oppositely charged ions, which results in the formation of a neutral compound, is called ionic bond. Now, let us see an example. To understand this ionic bond formation, let us try to understand the formation of ionic compound sodium chloride by using Lewis electron dot structures, so that we can understand how an ionic bond is formed. Okay, let us see the formation of compound sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is formed from the elements sodium and chlorine. It can be explained as follows here. See, sodium combines with chlorine gas. Actually, sodium is a solid substance. It reacts with the chlorine gas to form solid sodium chloride. This is a general reaction which occurs in the formation of ionic compound sodium chloride from metal sodium and non-metal chlorine gas. Let us see this step by step. Okay, this is a diagrammatic pictorial explanation. Sodium chlorine combining together to form sodium chloride. First, let us see the formation of cation, that is a positive ion, which will be formed by the loss of electrons. When sodium atom loses one electron, to get octet electron configuration, it forms a cation, which we call as Na plus ion, because sodium loses one electron, and it gets electron configuration that of neon atom. So what is happening here? Sodium, on losing one electron, it is becoming unipositive ion with the nearest noble gas configuration, that is of neon's configuration. Okay, see here, this is the way it converts. Sodium initially it is with 11 electrons, but after the loss of one electron, it is with 2,8 configuration. This is a nearest noble gas neon's configuration. Okay, so that it becomes stable. Now it is called as Na plus, sodium ion. Now let us see. So this is a equational representation. Sodium loses one electron and forms Na plus ion. So the configuration also it is mentioned. Initially it is 2,8, 1, but after loss of one electron, it became 2,8. Okay, next, see the formation of anion. Chlorine has shortage of one electron to get octet in its valence shell, because its atomic number is 17 and configuration is being as 2,8, 7. As there are 7 electrons in its outermost shell, it is ready to gain one electron. So it gains the electron from sodium atom to form an uninegative anion. Uninegative ion, which we call as anion, and gets the electron configuration of the nearest noble gas argon. So in this way, diagrammatically if you observe, initially chlorine has 7 electrons in its valence shell. By gaining of one electron, it is getting octet configuration in its outermost shell. So we can say this is a Cl minus, chlorine ion, which we commonly call as anion. So equationally you can represent it like this. Chlorine gains one electron and converts into chloride ion, Cl minus ion. So here if you observe the configuration, initially it is 2,8, 7, but after gaining one electron it became 2,8, 8, which is one of the stable electronic configurations of argon. Okay, now the combination of these two, formation of compound sodium chloride from Na plus and Cl minus ions. Transfer of electrons between sodium and chlorine atoms results in the formation of Na plus and Cl minus ions. These oppositely charged ions get attracted towards each other due to the electrostatic forces and form the compound called sodium chloride. So as these two are oppositely charged ions, so because of electrostatic force of attraction between these two, so they will come each other, close each other, and they combine together to form sodium chloride compound. So this is the reaction which occurs. Na plus and plus Cl minus. These two will combine together to form sodium chloride compound. This is happening by the transfer of electrons. So the electrostatic force of attraction created between oppositely charged ions which are formed by the transfer of electrons is called ionic bond. Okay, that's about ionic bond formation in sodium chloride molecule. Okay, thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today and visit our website aimstoday.in for latest updates on recorded videos.